Hi everyone. So today with easy cooking, we are going to be doing akara using lentil. Yes, we're not using beans. Lentil is way cheaper than beans, less stressful to use, and you can still be sure of having a high dose of protein and fiber. As a matter of fact, if you've had episodes of acid reflux before or indigestion with beans, I'll say that lentil is a very good option for you. So now we soak our lentils for a while. You could soak it for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, depending on how much time you've got. On this particular day, I'd soaked mine for over 2 hours, really. Yes. So the essence of soaking is to make it soft for you to blend. And of course, it also increases the volume. After soaking for a while, you should wash your lentil. Wash it thoroughly. Some brands are relatively clean, so you might not have to do so much of washing, but depending on the kind of brand you are able to come by, just ensure that you wash until you've got really clear water. Yes, so I've got my onions and I've got Scotch bonnet. That's Rodo. And now I've peeled my onions and rinsed my Rodo, ready to blend. You had some of your lentil already washed and soaked, right? Already soaked and washed into your blender. And then you had very little water. Please, really little water, because you don't want to have a watery mix which won't form, and it will end up soaking up so much oil if you don't get the right consistency. I always prefer to blend this little quantity first before adding the remaining lentil, just so that you can be certain of getting a consistency that is not too watery for frying. Yeah, so at this point, I'm adding the remaining lentil. As you can see, you had all of it, all of the lentil that you've got. Meanwhile, it depends on the kind of blender you've got. If you've got a blender that is actually very much effective and you're certain it won't spoil things, you might not have to go through all of this process. Now I'm adding ground crayfish. This is optional. It's not compulsory. It's just for it to give, this very special taste, right? That's why I decided to add ground crayfish. And then, of course, you had your onions and your pepper all ready to grind. So you should actually blend until you've gotten a very smooth mix. So this is me at this point, checking to be sure that the mix was smooth enough. If looking at it alone would not convince you enough, you could try using your hands like I did there. And then in this case, I realized that my mix wasn't smooth enough, so I had to blend a little bit further. So now I've got my mix ready, and then I'm transferring it to a bowl. And then you stir. After stirring for a while, you should add your salt to taste. I've realized that with lentil, you'll be needing more salt than if you were using beans. I really don't know why. If you know why, or you've had research on that, kindly put it on the comment section. Meanwhile, ensure that you mix thoroughly. You can use a hand mixer if you've got one, so that it will be fluffy and the salt would have actually dissolved so well before frying. This is me already placed pan, on the heater, on the cooker rather, and I've added some oil, waiting for it to heat up. I added onions just to check whether the oil was hot enough. At the point when the onions are turned brown, I knew that my oil was ready to have some lentils. Portion, depending on the size you would prefer and fry onto cooked. To change from side to side, I decided to remove these onions because they were constituting a nuisance for me. Most times I always like to remove it. It's not compulsory, like put it there, right? Depends on what you want. So I was saying that you change from side to side just to make sure that your akara is cooked in an even manner. Wow, look at it bouncing already, bouncing so well, like a drop of puff there. And then when you're done, after some minutes, you try to do this, you press it down, just so that you'll show that the inside is fully cooked. I think that's the reason our mother said that you have to do this, yeah? It's got a contrary opinion, as you put that in the comment section. So you press it down to be sure that it's cooked, and at the point where you've gotten a golden brown fry, you know that your akara is almost ready. You see already that this quantity is even enough to feed one person conveniently. So just that 1 cup of lentil could actually feed about 3 people, 3 to 4 persons actually. So that further establishes the fact that lentil is much more economical to use than beans. So you repeat the same for the remaining mix you've got in your bowl, and you're ready and almost done in the kitchen. The whole essence of this channel is for us to, get into the kitchen, and after a few minutes we're coming out with a very sumptuous meal. We're not sleeping in the kitchen, and we're not spending too much money, yet we're eating healthy. So that is it. You do the same thing for the next batch, and like that until you've exhausted your mix. Ooh, look at that, well cooked inside. And this is your akara. Thank you so much for watching.